we are about to deliver the Kyoto Plus pledge for politicians to Peter MacKay and a letter requesting that he start representing the interests of his constituents here in Nova Scotia. It's somewhat ironic that the place where we stand may be flooded by sea level rise if we don't deal with this issue. So his own office is at stake. But before we deliver these important messages to Peter MacKay, how about we all take part in extracting Harper from the oil barrel? It's not too late for us to change our stance. We have 2 weeks. We can rescue our international reputation and possibly save the world. So let's get him out of that barrel, guys.
Oh, there is a different world. There is a world out there to the oil. Thank you, folks.
This commits us to the science-based targets that we need to rescue ourselves from the desperate issue of the climate crisis. So we're hoping that Peter MacKay will listen and sign.
We had hoped to parade it.
Let you know what he says.
Why are you two here today, out in the cold?
Because it's imperative that we stand up and change something about, have a plan for Copenhagen. It's our last chance really to do something and move forward and stop greenhouse gas emissions. We need to start doing it now.
Are you guys from Halifax?
Cool. Why do you think demonstrations like this are important? I mean, bringing giant oil barrels out to the corner of Duke and Hollis and Halifax on a...
Well, I think it's all part of the work. I mean, we do policy work and we write editorials and all that kind of thing, but this is a very big spectacle to kind of draw attention to it. And it's part of getting the public aware of what's going on, and that Canada is being known now as a petro-nation. We've gone to Copenhagen from inside of an oil barrel in terms of our
What do you mean by
vision.
petronation?
Well, there was an article on the front page of The Guardian a few days ago that called Canada a petronation, which means that like countries in Saudi Arabia or Venezuela, they're seeing us as being chained to oil as our position. So oil and the importance of the tar sand to our economy is what's driving the government rather than the future of the planet. So
pieces that we wanted to deliver is that Canada's climate policy as it now stands doesn't really serve Nova Scotia very well.
And in what ways?
Well, we need aggressive leadership on climate change. We need to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels because most of our fossil fuels are imported. So we need leadership from the federal government. We need to get onto renewables. And there's little or no leadership from the federal government in helping this country move towards off fossil fuels and onto renewables. And also another little point, which I still find compelling, is that our oil exports, how much oil we're exporting drives to the U.S., drives up the Canadian dollar, which then makes our exports more expensive. So the fishing industry, other export-oriented industries are now suffering because of the high dollar, and one of the reasons we had that high dollar is because of our massive oil exports.
Thanks. And your name is?
Mark Butler.
And you
Policy Director at Ecology Action Centre.
What would you say to people, ask the folks over there as well, people who kind of say that, bringing an oil barrel into a corner for half an hour that's not going to make a difference?
Actually, it's not true. It's amazing. If you are part of any kind of community group or do community action, every little step you take, and this is a pretty big one, makes a huge difference. Every letter to the editor, every letter you write to an MP has an impact. This is a dramatic demonstration of how we feel our agenda has been boycotted by oil interests. But no, these things do have an impact. We've seen websites like Avaz and Your Own and 350.org are putting these up. It's showing that there is a global movement here. It's linking us all together, and these things all added up. At some point there's going to be a tipping point, and I hope it's this week in Copenhagen.
How would you like to see education on climate change treated, like educating people on climate change?
I think the government needs to have a plan to tell Canadians that climate change is real, what the effects are, how it will, and what they can do to do their part.
And your name is?
I'm Cheryl Ratchford with the energy coordinator at the EAC.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
I would say change now. I would really emphasize the need for action, and that all the other interests are short term, and that if we want long term health, we need to think about the long term, and that is thinking about the health of this planet.